Railroad. If you're traveling with small children, their feet don't touch the floor for their...
Yeah.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. We're about to take a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops along the way at Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're leaving Main Street Station right now, so wave it goodbye. But if you stay on board long enough, sooner or later, you'll be back.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
For an old conductor like me, there's no better place to ride the rails than the Magic Kingdom. By the way, we're traveling on pure steam power. This old locomotive is descended from the mighty trains that powered the golden age of steam. And just like me, it's a little old-fashioned. Now, where else can you travel from the charm of Main Street, USA to the untamed jungles of Africa, Asia, and South America? At the Magic Kingdom, anything is possible, and we're headed straight to the heart of Adventureland. It can get pretty wild in these parts, especially if you run into Captain Jack Sparrow. He's hiding out among those scurrilous pirates of the Caribbean. Whether you're boarding the boat for the Jungle Cruise or flying on Aladdin's magic carpets, when you visit Adventureland, bring an extra dose of bravery. As for me, I'll stay safe and sound right here aboard my train, if you don't mind. We've reached the wild west of the Magic Kingdom, Frontierland. This outpost is home to covered wagons, cowpokes, and country bears. And we've got our own mountain range of exciting adventures. You might catch a runaway mine train at Big Thunder Mountain, or hop on over to Splash Mountain and join Brer Rabbit for a 50-foot drop straight down into the Briar Patch. We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight until we come to a complete stop. If you're disembarking here, please carry your strollers all the way off the platform before you unfold them. That'll help make room for the new passengers joining us. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
Okay, folks, for your safety, please remain seated until the train does come to a full and complete stop. And you'll hear the magical words all clear. Please remain seated, folks, for your safety.
We just went through Splash Mountain.
Please remain seated, folks. We're still moving.
Yeah, what?
No, I'm just saying we just went through Splash Mountain. That's what that was.
Seated.
Oh, yeah.
Hey folks, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. We're headed for Fantasyland and to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated. Keep your hands and arms
There's Big Thunder Mountain.
safely inside the train. And
You
as
the kids
always,
are like that. That's a little while. I can't quite do that. I think that's a little bit too much for me.
Mantenga las manos.
I was just going through the queue line and I think it's neat. I saw a video of it. That Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Even going through the queue line is neat.
Oh, yeah.
Although,
As we head to American wilderness, we'll pass by the dusty desert town of Tulare. Runaway mine trains and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
yeah, I won't be able to do that. I can do that one, but you can do it. Well, you saw that on that, when we were on that bus yesterday, how they changed the queue for the Haunted Mansion and stuff you can do on long haul. The only problem with that is I heard that people want to, especially little kids, they want to play with it or something and they don't want to move right away.
Yeah.
A trip that used to take months can now be made in just a few weeks.
Indian encampment.
There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the banks of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of the Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. We're almost out of the woods, folks. We're coming up on the most magical of lands, Fantasyland, a place where any dream can come true. Fly over London with Peter Pan. Set sail on It's a Small World. Take a trip under the sea with the Little Mermaid. Be our guest at an enchanted feast in the Beast's castle. Or journey into the Seven Dwarfs' mine, where 1,000,000 diamonds shine. Whether you're a pixie, a princess, or just an everyday dreamer, there's always something special about Fantasyland. If you've been riding trains as long as this old-timer, you may remember the days when the circus would come to town on the local railway. Well, the circus is here, and it's set up permanent headquarters as the Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to fly high with Dumbo, or join Goofy on the Barnstormer, a rollicking ride of circus acrobatics and coaster thrills. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your belongings and carry your strollers away from the platform before you start unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those of you disembarking, please watch your step. And thanks for traveling with us on the Walt Disney World Railroad. Join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
As we arrive at the Fantasyland station, please remain seated till the train has come to a full and complete stop, and I give the two magical words of all clear. Once again, folks, remain seated till the train's come to a full and complete stop. We've got about a car length to go. Remain seated, folks. We're almost there. Remain seated.
Now, everyone stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times. Oh, and please keep an eye on your children.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Main Street, Frontierland, it's heavy. And then back to Fantasyland.
There are some who say that this steam train is a little old-fashioned, but for me, it's the only way to travel. Of course, there are those who prefer to hit the highway, and on the right, you just might spot some pint-sized drivers taking their first spin behind the wheel of a car. Getting from place is a big deal in Tomorrowland, where you might board a people mover, zip around on the Astro Orbiter, or book a flight across the galaxy. And
We're not going to go in the people mover. That's being refurbed right now, darling.
Tomorrowland is truly a world on the move.
We'll go over there and we'll measure it.
No people mover. That's closed right now.
I hope I can
They're rehabbing it, darn it.
myself.
They couldn't have rehabbed It's a Small World.
Speaking of moving, it seems like a whole lot of new neighbors have been migrating in from all corners of the Milky Way. There's that rascally Experiment 626, better known as Stitch, always up to his usual antics. Buzz Lightyear is scouting for a few good space rangers. Even the monsters of Monstropolis have taken a shine to Tomorrowland. I hear those monsters are pretty funny. They're sure funny looking.